Hey guys, welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. So the last tutorial that I did, I showed you how to make this cool YouTube channel art. Today I'm going to show you how to make the thumbnail version of that channel art. Let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is to make a new document. The new document is going to be 1280 by 720. This document size is what YouTube recommends. So let's start by making a black background. Go to your layers, and if you don't see the layers palette over here, you can go to Window, Layers. Okay, so let's color this layer black. Let's size it up a little. Transform, scale. What I like to do too is to make some guides. Just drag in my guides here, so I know exactly where to fit my text. And this is just my preference. I don't like to have the text too close to the edge. That looks just about right. So let's bring in our first image. Using the same background image that we used for the channel art. Just make that 29% opacity. Next thing I want to do is to draw a square. Go edit, transform, skew. Let's duplicate that by dragging it down to the plus sign here, right beside bin. Let's color it a different color. Just gonna drag it over a little. So we got that nice line. So let's bring in our logo. Let's resize the logo. Let's name these layers. Let's call this one line. And let's call the one above image mask. Let's go to the line and add a gradient. Blending options. Go to gradient. We already have the gradient from the channel art. Let's add that. Let's go to the image mask and go File, Place Embedded. So I brought one of the images I used on the channel art, and this serves as your base image for all your uploads. So it will be easy for you to bring in an image every time you upload a thumbnail. So if you didn't see what I did there, to place the image inside the mask, I select the mask first, then I press Alt or Command on Mac and press right in between both images, and the image drops in the mask. So right there you can select the image, you can move it over, you can resize, edit, transform, scale. can bring it up as you want. And now we're gonna do another square for the text. And for YouTube, you want your text to be pretty large because you gotta remember that the YouTube banner has to be shown on a cell phone and iPads and your monitor. Let's color the square black. And this is my preference. You can do whatever you want. Art is subjective. Let's bring down the opacity so we can see the image through. Now let's do a text. Let's make a new layer and click. And now we're gonna do this gaming tips and tricks. I'm gonna keep the text left aligned. I'm gonna size it up a bit. We're using the text tool here. I'm going to click the move tool to apply the changes. Hold down shift and drag the text down with the move tool. Have it centered. Fix that a little. The font that we use was called One Slice. So let's look for One Slice. Make sure you have the font installed. One Slice regular. Let's resize it since this text is a little tighter. Keep within our guidelines. And let's add a style to the text so we have a little bit more depth. So let's right click the text in the layers palette and go to blending options. You can add a gradient. If you want to change the gradient, you can set the color. We'll do the white and gray this time, and we can add a bevel. Very subtle. We can zoom in or zoom out by pressing Ctrl plus or Ctrl minus on the keyboard. Still readable. Readability is very important on YouTube. And that's it for the thumbnail, guys. Very quick tutorial. If you like the tutorial, but you don't want to go through the hassle of creating this in Photoshop, you have the chance of purchasing the template. I'll show you what the template is like. So when you get the template, it will look like this. It will look blank with no images. And you can go in and just drop in your images very easily. So let's start dropping in some images so you can see how it works. Let's do a background image. So to import your image in the template, all you gotta do is press on the layer that says Place Image Here. Then go File, Place Embedded. Look for an appropriate image. Bring in our same image here. Drop the opacity to about 29. Open the other folder. Press on that layer that says place image here. So you can just customize it the way you like. And then we can go to the logo. As you can see, the logo is not there, so you can place your own custom logo. Let's turn it off. That's just a placeholder. And you can just bring in your own logo. And that's how easy it is to bring in your images in the template. Now for the template, you have a little bit more options. You have an effect layer here. We can give you some options to do color balancing. You can change the color. Got a gradient map. You can change the gradient. So it just depends on how you want to customize it. And then you have some one-click color options here. It gives you some flexibility. And even these you can go in. So you turn one on but you don't really like the effect. You can go in and you can change the gradient here too. That looks pretty cool. To export your file for YouTube, just go to File, Export, Save for Web and Legacy. Set it to JPEG, and then set it to 20% quality. You don't want to set it to 100% because the file will be too big for YouTube. 20% is perfect for YouTube, and you won't have any problems uploading it. When you fix all these settings, just press Save, and save it to our area where you can find it. I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial, and if you have suggestions on what tutorials you'd like to see, let me know. If you have any feedback on the tutorial, let me know in the comments area. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.